Hello everybody, I'm the Fruit Collector, and welcome to another video of the One Piece card game. Today, we have a lot more OPO 6 announcements. We have a leader, and we have 4 characters to go over. And you can probably guess who the characters are by looking at the leader that's right on your screen right now. We have Vinsmoke Reiju as a new leader. Is a blue-purple leader with 4 life, 5,000 power, under Vinsmoke family and GERMA 66. Your turn, once per turn, when one of your Don cards on the field is returned to your Don deck, draw 1 card. Now that is a decently okay effect. It's definitely usable. However, I do fail to see how it can match up with the Yamato leader that I made a video about 4 days ago, I think, as of right now, which had double attack and a bunch of other things that it did. I feel like the power of that leader compared to this one are just 2 astronomically different things, this being a lot worse. However, I do think it is a half-decent blue-purple leader right next to the other, 2 or 3 we already have. So, very excited to see how this leader works and how all the different characters a part of GERMA 66 work with it. Next up, we have 2 characters here. Vinsmoke Reiju, which is a super rare, a cost 4, 5,000 power character under purple. On play, if you have less Don on your field than your opponent, and if you have 5 or less cards in hand, draw 2 cards. That is a pretty decent effect. I think it's alright. Considering the cost 4 and 5,000 power does make it a viable attacker, and I do think it could be used in a deck, not just completely worthless. I do like the fact that you get to draw 2 off of it. I don't like the restriction of only having 5 or less cards in your hand. I think that makes it kind of weird. It does have a counter of 1,000, so it does have some utility there. Then we have Vinsmoke Yonji on the right, which I do think is a rare. They don't actually have the rarities listed on what I'm looking at. I'm just using my, looking at the low-quality pictures, bottom right of the cards, to try to just guess. But Vinsmoke Yonji here is a purple character that costs a 4, power 5,000, counter of 1,000. If you have less Don on your field than your opponent, this character has 1,000 power. So I can see that so far that these Vinsmoke characters, also he's a blocker. I apologize, I didn't read that part. It does seem like these GERMA 66 cards are relying on you having less Don than your opponent does overall. So I can see how this will. I don't know. Like, based off of these 2 cards right here, it does not look like GERMA will have to rely off themselves alone to get rid of Don, but it'll have to be used with another archetype to supplement it and get powerful effects off by getting rid of Don. I know this is gonna sound weird, but maybe something like the OPO4 support for the Baroque Works, which also relies off of getting Don cards off your field, and getting some back through that purple yellow Crocs effect. I feel like that could be pretty decent. But the last 2 characters we have for today are Vinsmoke Ichiji and Vinsmoke Niji. Vinsmoke Ichiji here is a cost 7, and this is the one on the right. A cost 7, power of 7,000. On play, if you have less Don on your field than your opponent, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power for this turn, and this character gains Rush. That is very powerful. It's not only an Otama, but it's also a 7k with Rush, which could be very astounding just to play without your opponent knowing exactly what's in your hand, and could lead for a very powerful starting attack. Also, could get rid of a really powerful card. I guess if you play this on your 10 Don turn, you could subtract 2k from maybe your opponent's 12k, and make this up to 10, and just swing for 10 against 10. That would only need 1 Don to get rid of it. I feel like that wouldn't be too worth it, but this could have a lot of utility somewhere. I just don't exactly know where just yet. Last up here, we have Vinsmoke Niji here, which is a purple card that costs a 5, power of 6,000. On play, if you have less on your field than your opponent, choose one of the following. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less, or return one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less to their hand. This also has a counter of plus 1,000. So yeah, there's a clear theme going on here with getting effects if you don't have if you have less time than your opponent. But so far, out of these 4 characters, which is a decent amount of characters for an archetype, there is no effect of getting rid of Don off your field by their effects, which could be a very big and glaring issue. Along with Reiju, her effect does not rely off of removing Don from your field either, which is also kind of weird for a purple deck. And blue really isn't going to help with that either, I guess. So I definitely have to see how this goes over time, and see how it works. It leaves me kind of intrigued to see how this is going to work. Maybe they'll have some cool event cards, or maybe like a judge will be a very versatile card to get down off your field. Maybe they'll have like the soldiers have an effect to get rid of the down off your field. I don't know. I can also think that the soldiers, I can't remember their name. They're probably just called like the double six soldiers. Um, they they might have the same kind of effect as Pacifist does, from set one, where you can play as many of them in your deck as you want, which could be interesting. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about these just yet, but I think they'll be a lot better once we see what other cards they'll get to make their deck better as time goes on. That is all I have for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out the ones I have, and like and subscribe if you would like. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.